20 pounds this year already, and I'm tired of giving Costco all my money. This month, I'm going local. If you are the vegetarian denomination, wipe away immediately. I'm going to show you the meals I'm making today using some of this meat. Here's the company so you can support too. Here's what came in the box. I believe it's the variety pack. On the meat of the day. Breakfast for Bill BLT. Oh, goodness. Sorry. Lunch is pork chops and veggies. How much is too much? Dinner is steak and veggies. Oh, wow. Support your local businesses. I'm down over 20%.
Oh. That was good. Got lost in the sauce. Booger just shot out my nose. Hello, I'm awake. Girl, what the fuck did you do in here last night? What's that all about? You know you're not allowed to walk up there. What are you doing? You ready for a brushing? Hmm? You want to get brushies? Mm. Mm. Had a little bit of rough. Had a little bit of a rough night last night. My dog kept waking me up to go outside. And I was getting mad at one point. I thought about leaving him outside in the rain because he kept fucking crying to go outside. Okay, fine, you can go outside. But I felt bad after about 2 minutes. So he was only out there for about 30 seconds longer than he would have because I felt bad. But then, I don't know if you guys remember the big fucking burrito that I ate before bed or for dinner. Well, I was dozing off at one point and then I was like, I'm kind of hungry. So I got up and like ate more of the burrito. And then I went to bed. Oy, I don't know what was in there exactly. But there was something in that burrito that made me have heartburn. Like, I don't usually get heartburn. Like, maybe like a little indigestion right after I eat or something like that. But I don't ever get heartburn. I still have heartburn right now. Right here. I can feel it still right here, how tender it is. It's just all here. It's like that commercial for Tums back in the day. You remember they'd show you the artist rendering of a stomach and then flames shooting up to the esophagus. That's like literally what it feels like. So I trying to call out of work. I fucked up. So listen, there's this guy, and I did a clean for him. He was actually one of the first houses. I think I live streamed the clean when I first got my vacuum, and I cried about it, and I was so excited. And I was so excited about getting a vacuum for myself because that means I can start a business anywhere I go. So it's like a year ago, maybe longer than a year ago. I think it was like December of 2024. But anyway, so maybe January. I don't remember. So I got myself this vacuum and immediately I booked this job and it was disgusting. It was an RV. Pretty sure I live streamed the process. It was an RV and it was like there were Fireball whiskey or whatever bottles everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And there was cigarette ashes, and I'm pretty sure a spot where he just decided to start pissing. Um, it was nasty. I know I live streamed the process. I just don't remember if I just don't remember. But anyway, so I went back and cleaned it for him a couple of times to maintain it, to try to maintain it. But then he just stopped calling me to come and clean it. And so I got busy working all these other jobs and I just didn't really think anything of it. Well, I don't know if you guys remember that I volunteer with the library, the local library on occasion. Um, and the lady from the library called me and she's like, listen, I have an emergency help clean. She's like, "He can pay. I'm not asking you to do this for free. You charge your normal rate." But I've got this guy, his name is David, whatever, he needs help. And so I heard her tell the story, and she's telling me a story about this guy named David whose wife is in the hospital, and like it's an RV, and I was starting to get the pieces and put the like I was starting to the brain cells were like bzz, bzz, And so yesterday, last night, I messaged her and I was like, is this that guy that's like, I just need some clarification because I thought the reason I did the clean for him originally was because his wife had died and he had nobody to clean up for him. And so he had lost everything in the fire, the holiday farm fire that hit us out here. And it was a big wildfire. It took out like 30 miles of homes. So like so many people, like I think it was like 6,000 people lost their homes, lost everything. And then took 5 years to get back. Well, he lost his home, his wife died, and now he's living in a motor home. So apparently I was like, what the hell? I thought his wife died. His Facebook profile says like single and like looking to mingle or something weird like that. So I'm just like confused. And she's like, yeah, no, it's the same guy. Since the last time I cleaned his house, he managed to get married again. And I can't even get a call back? How the fuck did that man get married? Anyway, I don't really care. I'm just kidding. I don't want a boyfriend. Don't want anything to do with it. But anyway, so it was just funny. Like he got a whole ass another wife. And now she's super sick and she's not doing well. And she's in the hospital. And I'm starting to think like, dang, dude, did this man kill his first wife? Like, sheesh. Listen, all I know is when I cleaned that house for him last year, afterwards, I got very sick. I mean, very sick. Like, I was stuck in bed for like 3 weeks. I couldn't work. I couldn't do shit. I was sick. I got really bad ear infections at the time too, and like my throat, and it was just body aches. It was miserable. And I am like 99.999% sure that I got some kind of filth sickness from his house. So it's got me thinking like, dang, I wonder if his wife got some kind of filth sickness. I don't know. I don't know what she's in the hospital for. I just know she's in the hospital. And I know that he is. The thing is, do I feel a little bit like that lady from the library fucking like lied to me? I feel like the lady from the library lied to me a little bit and like made it sound like she made it sound like it was an elderly person and it was someone like seriously in need, like they can't do it themselves. This guy could totally do it himself. He's just a drunk. He's very depressed and but he could do it himself. He just won't. And so like I kind of have a little bit of I mean I'm getting paid for it, but I took today off for a reason. So now I have to go and do this clean for this guy who, if he had called me to book the job, I probably would have told him no. And now I've gotten roped into doing it and doing like removing furniture, taking dump runs and stuff. Like I've gotten roped into all this. Ugh, and I have heartburn so bad. So I'm hoping that he says that we can switch the days because if we can, I'm not going today. Be right back. I'm going to check my messages. Yes. 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 I don't have to go to work today. I don't have to go to work today. I just have to go to my other job. I don't have to work today. Okay, I'm hot in here now. Yay, he replied, and I don't have to go to work today. That means I can do whatever I want. Yay. What is that? Oh. Hello? Oh, dude, don't worry, ASMR, don't worry about the people that talk shit. Those are the people that are funding my YouTube. I don't mind a little trolling. I mean, I don't really give a shit, to be quite honest, either way. Half the time I ignore the comment section because it's a lot to keep up with anyway. So if y'all want to talk shit about me while I'm sitting here doing my own thing, that's on you. It's got nothing to do with me. People talk to other people the same way they talk to themselves. And so when people talk shit, I just 100% know that's how I mean, like, you can't convince me otherwise. That's how they talk to themselves. So, what?
Hello, everyone. This is David with Azure, and I'm here because I'm really excited today about the new program that Azure is able to launch called Drop to Home. You know, when we're talking to folks, one of the most common reasons they can't order or that it's difficult to place an order is because the drop times are not absolutely consistent. I don't know if I can make it to the drop right at that time because I don't know exactly when it is. And, we're kind of in the ballpark, but, things vary just a little bit from month to month. And I would have to take off work. It doesn't work out. So we want to take that and allow a new concept. And, back when I first started Azure, I used to deliver to homes. I was just in a pickup at that time, a little pickup, and I would deliver to people's houses all the time before we had to compile into drops to cover more ground. And it's a lot of fun.
No, I gotta tell my neighbors about this. Thank you, God. Oh, oh, the heartburn is killing me. Did you guys hear about this? Azure Standard is going to be dropping deliveries at home now. We don't have to rely on drop times. Right. All right. I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom. Enjoy. Aw, you can't see through the window. It's too bright. I was hoping you could enjoy the raindrops, but get my bed instead. Forgot that. Where's my knitting? Half of my lights are out. God fucking damn it. I have to get new lights. Pisses me off. That really pisses me off. Fucking cats, dude. Okay. It's better. I had to poop really bad. All right, back to Azure Standard.
Actually delivering. I'd like to invite anyone who has the time to be able to do that, to think about serving your local community as a Azure Drop driver. It's really fun. It's a lot of connection with local people.
I want to do
It's
that.
amazing the things that you learn and do.
I want to do
I
that.
used to love doing it.
I want to do
Really,
it. I
really
want to do it.
did.
I want to do it.
And we have what I didn't have back then, but now here at Azure, we created a nice, very convenient app so that you can plan out the delivery routes and that, and you can set the price.
I would happily be the neighborhood driver. Exclamation point. I want to be
that
the
you
Azure
feel
Standard
it's
neighborhood driver.
worth to make that drop to home delivery. So within parameters, that's left up to the drop driver. So I would love to invite
Think about the smell of clean laundry.
that, or if you know somebody, hey, if you know
My bed smells like clean laundry. And my house smells like amber and sandalwood. Kitty always smells like perfume. Does that make it? Do you have that experience with your cats? Like if you smell your cat, does your cat smell like perfume? I don't. Sometimes I wonder if she like goes somewhere where there's like a woman who wears like perfume. Because it doesn't make any sense. It's like, where are you getting that smell from? You literally smell like perfume. She smells like perfume. Getting cat hairs on my nose. I love you. Come here. Come right here. Now fall down. She's my chunky mamas. I love you. I love you. You're my sweet girl. I love you so much. How come you don't like this? I'm gonna put some treats in there and make her like it. I want to be like my neighborhood food delivery person. I would love that. You get a semi comes to your house, drops off like huge amounts of food in boxes. It's all, and then you have to go through all the boxes of food and go, okay, the Smiths get 2 heads of celery, 4 carrots, da 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 da, and you just put each of the items in the boxes for whom they go to. And then after that, you then deliver the boxes to the people's houses. And I could get paid to do that. I like that idea. I want to do it. Hey, so did you guys hear that that Iran is saying fuck you, and our president, bless his little heart, he just thought it was going to be like the 12-day war situation where he could like go in there and act a damn fool, and then, oh wow, the flowers are blooming. He could act like a fool and then just back out again, and Iran was going to be like, okay. But you know, like they killed the guy. So like the thing is like in Iran, the head of the state, the supreme leader, he was also a religious figure and had been for like 40 years. So it was much more meaningful to the people of Iran to lose their president. And yeah, there's a lot of people out in the streets, but mostly the people are out in the streets mourning their supreme leader's martyrdom. The man knew they were coming to kill him, and he did not leave his home. He stayed there with his family and his closest confidants. They all knew they were going to die, and they chose to stay and martyr themselves. That is powerful when it really comes down to it. Now, the people of Iran are basically at this juncture. I mean, granted, there are a few people who are like, wish they could be liberal and wish they could have an OnlyFans for whatever reason. But the majority of the people are at this juncture willing to die. And so you cannot overtake a people. You can't snuff out a people who are literally willing to die for their beliefs. Americans are not willing to die for their beliefs in the same way, and therefore, you know, well, not even to mention the Mossad and the IDF and the Israeli part of our, you know, our army. Those guys are really seriously turn tail and run. Like, you know, the minute it looks bad for them, they're out of there. Did you guys see there was I think it was on Twitter, there was somebody who keeps up with like the flights and stuff, and they were watching all of the flight activity coming out of Israel at the time of the war. Let me see if I can find it. This is the wrong. How do I switch my account? I only have this account on here. Flights leaving Israel. There it is. Okay, look. So these are all the flights that were leaving Israel. So look, all these planes, all these private jets leaving Israel and going to European destinations. Cyprus, Greece. Look at that. Just pouring out. That's crazy. Yeah, I do know what I'm talking about, but so here's the thing though. Is it our business to unoppress the women of another country? Absolutely not. If the people in that country are that's what they want to live their life like, it is their responsibility as a people to overthrow their own government. It is not our responsibility to go and rescue the fucking world. We are not Team America world police, okay? We are our own country and we are supposed to be minding our own fucking business. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Okay? So no, I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. I don't fucking care if there are women oppressed in Iran. There are people who are living on the streets in the United States of America. Not everybody goes to bed with a warm bed with hot food in their belly. Okay? And that means more to me as an American who lives in America, and I see my fellow human beings struggling and suffering. I hear the stories, I experience them myself. All the side effects of what we are living in, this bullshit crap we're living in. This is what we want for Iran. We want a 4 seasons and we want to be able to have OnlyFans. No. Why would we want that for them? Why would we want Trump Towers and fucking their children to be tablet kids? Why would we want that for them? We wouldn't. Doesn't make any sense. Why do we want to liberate another country? Why do we care? We don't. It's literally on the behalf of Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu specifically, has been coming to Congress every single year for 40 years, since 1989 or 1990, I think was the first time I ever saw a video clip of him doing that. But every single year he's talking about how, oh, they're weeks away from getting nuclear power. They're weeks away. They're weeks away. He's been saying that for literally 40 years. And after we bombed, actually, they started it. This is what happened. Israel was like, listen, we're going to bomb Iran and either you can join us or you can get dragged into it afterwards. That's like literally what Rubio said. Okay. So that means that they're our ally. They're dragging us into war. Israel was the first one to make the preemptive attack. Let's not forget. And as soon as Israel did that and Iran came back with firepower, look at what all the people in Israel did. They got out of Dodge. Benjamin Netanyahu's off to Berlin or off to Crete. Like, so you're gonna fucking do that. They're literally doing that shit where they stick a fucking spoke in their own bicycle tire and then cry about someone else fucking attacking them. No, you just stuck the spoke in your own tire. You did that. And did you see how our own government in the entirety of the Middle East, our government has said, okay, Americans, if you can find a way to get out, do that. So we're just abandoning all of our people in the Middle East. There's like, I think I saw somewhere around like 14,000 Americans in US in Qatar and Israel alone. It's wild, dude. It's absolutely wild. I really had high hopes for Trump. I genuinely did. Like, I never believed that he would be a good president from the beginning in 2016 when my husband said to me, I think Trump might make a good president. It truly made me look at him differently. Granted, I was a very liberal like feministy type of broad even in 2026. It changed once I really settled into motherhood and I realized like what's best for my child is ultimately that takes precedence over everything. But I genuinely questioned him as a person for like, it made me look at him differently for the rest of our marriage, honestly. And it wasn't just that, it just made me see him differently. And the things that I heard him say or whatever were not as like innocuous. I was like, cause I don't know, it changed my whole perspective about him as a person. And it didn't take until about 2024. That is when, maybe 2023. In 2023, just before, I think it was about 2 weeks before, if that, before Israel and Palestine started doing the bullshit. Israel started the bullshit. About maybe I'll give myself as much as 2 weeks before that, I started to come around and I started to think, okay, Trump is saying all the things that we want to hear. Trump is saying no more wars. Trump is saying America first. Trump is saying, you know, uh, end this shit between Ukraine and Russia, our participation in it. He's going to end everything's going to be just over. He's going to be, we're going to focus on, worry about our own self. It's just like when you're and you have to get yourself hooked up to the thing before you do anybody else's. It's the same concept. Like we need to take care of our own selves before we try to take care of anyone else. And it's just impossible to, as a mom, we moms understand that if we're not giving to our children and our family from a fulfilled place, it's draining and it's very difficult. It's stressful. It puts you in a place of survival, and everybody's miserable because it starts with mom. And how are we going to just in turn do that exact same thing with other countries? Like we're giving so much of our money away hand over fist, and it really makes things get into perspective with the whole like Israel is not our ally. They are the boss. Because if you think about it, what Israel is doing, the money that we're getting, it's like the boss coming in and just like taking his cut and then like taking off. And that's like basically what's happening with Israel is just we just hand them billions of dollars for absolutely nothing. They do nothing for us in return. They don't send us food, they don't send us medical students. They don't enrich the American fiber in any way, shape, or form. All it does, it's like a parasite. It has latched on and it's just draining our resources and getting us into trouble. Like, what the fuck? Our president is 100% owned by Miriam Adelson. And the fact that it's so clear, like even watching the speech that Trump did where he was talking about this whole like, oh, we're bombing Iran. Even in that whole speech, he doesn't have a plan. There's obviously no plan. I don't know if you guys have in your hometowns noticed any of the industrial plants making things for the military. Have you noticed like that you're in your towns, in your industrial towns where they like make cars and stuff like that? Have you noticed like for the last like 2 years at least, an uptick in tank production, missile production, plane production? Because as far as I know, we haven't done that. What we have is basically just what we've just kind of been innovating and coming out with. But there was no time for the United States to build up an arsenal that they could then utilize. Anything that we've got is old. And let's just be real, American infrastructure sucks. Have you seen what the food they feed our army people? The metal sheets that they use to produce tanks and things like that now, it's thinner. It's nothing is Nothing is as high quality as it was with this 1950s military ideal. Not to mention something I just thought of. Wasn't Israel supposed to have some kind of like protection against missiles? Like, hasn't Israel gotten away with what they've gotten away with for so long because people were like, well, there's no point in trying to blow up Tel Aviv. They've got the Iron Dome. Anything will be deflected or whatever. Wasn't that supposed to happen? Okay, sure. Tell me everything since you're a professional. C'est la vie. Tell me, do tell me. Tell me. I want to hear what you have to say. It's supposed to be an iron dome, but the iron dome implies it's impenetrable, you know? Yep, I do have face tattoos. That's because I own my own business and I own my home. So I can do whatever I want with my body because nobody is going to stop me from making money because I do that on my own. It's called freedom. You should aspire for it sometime. But I guess that it's seemingly everybody likes to be a slave. It's what it seems like to me. Ooh, the Corey Richins trial is on. Gas prices are going to skyrocket too, which is really the nerve-wracking thing. Like, it's really hard already to afford to pay for groceries, and now our groceries are going to go up, our gas bill is going to go up, like everything is going to be so much more expensive because Trump was not anticipating a long war. He was anticipating he's got people in his ear. You got to understand, Trump is just a loudspeaker for whomever is like whispering in his ear. I honestly don't really think he has many thoughts of his own, genuinely. Like, he just will say whatever he is told to say. And that's sad. It's so funny how people are like, ooh, Epstein files. Oh, everybody's a pedo. But then everyone's like, ooh, trust the president. Trust the politicians. They know what they're doing. These are the same people who like have sex with children behind closed doors. Are you sure about that? Hey, girl. Yeah. You got to understand, what's your name? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Comment just disappeared. Oh. Thanks, Sparkle. Trump is just objectively not the best president ever. I mean, I'm neutral. I am supportive as much as possible of whichever president is in office because that's what we've got. And so it's a matter of just I'm going to do what's in the best interest of my people at all times. And just at the end of the day, fighting with each other over who is the worst and best. And like, oh, well, that Trump's the Antichrist or Trump is an angel. Like, that is just bullshit to get us caught up in arguing with each other. so that we don't actually pay attention to what's going on. It's exactly the same as when you're working at a job and the job it's like rude or it's like bad, it's a faux pas to discuss how much you're getting paid with your employees. They don't want you doing that because they don't want you realizing how little or much one another is making because they don't want it to be fair. And it's the same concept. It's the oldest in the book. It's the 1,000 years ago in like BC, a man in China wrote The Art of War, a book called The Art of War. And one of the major principles in that is divide and conquer. If you can get the people spending all of their time pointing out all the bad things each other is doing, they're not looking at what's going on over here at all. We're all occupied with, you're terrible, you're bad, you're this or that. And that's fucking retarded. You're literally playing right into their hand. So if you actually are a contrarian to your core, like I am, I mean, you're going to want to, how about I just not do that? Because that helps you. You know what I'm saying? So instead of arguing just to be annoying to the government, just to be a person with the, it's what a great world I live in today. The act of civil disobedience is being kind and generous, giving grace to the people around you and trying to understand why someone is making a choice without judgment and hate. Like that is a way of rebelling against the system. And I don't understand why more people aren't like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to choose to do that. I'm going to choose to do whatever is in the best interest of my community because what's good for my community is good for me because I live in that community, you know? I don't understand how people have gotten this. I know it. I know what it is we have, when we get in our car, you shut the door and you're in your own little pod. You're no longer a part of the crowd. You're just completely in your little vacuum sealed bag. When you sit on your cell phone, you're on your own little world. You're sitting at a restaurant, you're in your own little world. You're in your little vacuum sealed hermetic little container. And by putting ourselves in these little vacuum sealed hermetic containers where we go, we have made it so that we genuinely feel separation from the people that you like. When you drive past a homeless person on the street, do you go like, ooh, that's because you're in your own little box, we should be focusing on taking care of one another. And obviously like drug addicts and like the homeless dregs of society, that's a very tiptoey fine line because there comes a time where you help someone and then they no longer are willing to help themselves. So I should be in charge of everything because I I think that we should absolutely give people help, but that help 100% should be required to do something. Like even the most disabled person who can only like move around by a dial in their mouth. I mean, they could fucking they could volunteer, like they could do anything. They could sit in a place and watch numbers go by on a screen. There's literally, you can find a job for anybody. You can find a task for anybody. Or even if like, I mean, that's like a really bad one, but there's people who are disabled don't necessarily have to do the same tasks as someone who is fully able-bodied. You know what I'm saying? Like, but everybody should have to participate in the system. If you're going to be gaining from the system, you should be participating in some way. You shouldn't be able to just sit on your ass and do absolutely nothing and just take. People need to, we really need to change the way that our children think about community. The adults are kind of it's just kind of what it is now. We have to wait for this generation to clear out and we have to raise a better generation from the start. That's one of the things I've been very intense about with my child is teaching him that if you are able to, if it's safe, if it's not if it's not morally wrong, if it's not illegal, and if you're physically capable of doing it, you should help people. If someone asks you for help, you should give it. And that's just the way of it. If you notice something, it becomes your responsibility. If you're walking along in the grass and you notice a piece of trash, you don't just assume someone else is going to get it. You have noticed it. It is your responsibility now. You see it, it's yours. And that's how I raise my kid. I want him to feel as if he is a part of, so that he doesn't put blinders on and just step over people in order to get ahead. And that's how we need to raise our kids. We need to focus on this next generation, teaching them how to be community members, not just there. No, I don't like ice. I don't think ice is a good thing. Ice is a lot of IDF soldiers or former IDF soldiers. Ice is like, you, literally a man, ages 25 to 35, you could go sign up for ICE and get the job. Any old buddy. Okay. And that's very troubling because there are a lot of guys out there who, are desperate to feel powerful in some way and will take that out on other people. In order to be on the front lines of any kind of civil disturbance or anything like that, where there's like rioting and all that, you have to be highly trained in order to handle that. People, like, if I would get mad if someone pushed me, and I'd probably I'd probably shoot somebody in a situation where it's so chaos, whatever, and I've got a weapon. Like, I could see myself making a bad choice. I can put myself in the shoes of these people. Not saying that I would physically myself do that, but I can put myself in the shoes of someone who is a new ICE agent, who all they know is like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I got a gun. You know what I mean? And so they just react, and that's not, if we're going to give people guns and put them on the front lines of people where there is likely going to be aggression, frustration, people who are all of those things in a heightened state of emotion, you need to be highly trained in order to be face to face with that. Because if you're not highly trained, you're going to go to the easiest solution, which would be, just neutralize instead of de-escalate the situation. People need to be highly trained in order to de-escalate situations, and these ICE people are not highly trained. There's a guy who was a YouTuber. I only watched a couple of his videos here and there because he was like up Israel's asshole. But there were a couple of things so I just happened to catch the video where he was like applying to become an ICE agent, and he successfully got hired, and then he was an ICE agent. He's a fucking YouTuber, like a political YouTuber. It's wild. You guys, I've been saying for a really long time that we need to teach each other how to be more self-sufficient and how to survive if shit kind of goes sideways. And I still really feel that way. I think that you should at the very least find a map, and look up the local water sources nearby you. There's this website, you should write this down. There's a website called findaspring.org, like find a spring, .org. And if you type on that website your location, or I mean, you can find anywhere in the United States, but that will show you where there are there's spring water to drink, and hot springs and cold springs. Like, so if you want to find a hot spring that you can go soak in, it'll also show you that. Yes, findaspring.org. Yes. Damn, it's coming down. But so anyway, findaspring.org, that website will help you to locate natural water sources that are near you, so that you, in the event of shit hitting the fan, you can find fresh water. You are going to need to filter it probably, because they've poisoned all of our waters with, microbes and chemicals. But so you want to get a filtration system. I highly recommend the filtration system by Life. Wait, what is it called? Yes, Life Straw. The company Life Straw makes all kinds of sizes of water filtration systems that are completely, they use no electricity. They use you don't have to change a bunch of filters and stuff like that. So Life Straw sells like a big huge thing for like $200, a big like family sized water filtration system. And you should also look into how to safely handle your shit. Because when the toilets stop flushing because they've shut off all the electricity, or, you know, some shit has gone down, and like maybe you can't afford your electricity bill anymore because the price is so ridiculous. Um, Whatever the case may be, you should, one of the first things to go will be your electricity. And without electricity, your water pump in your house will not give you water. If you are on, it might be different if you're on city water. I'm not sure. But either way, you should fundamentally understand what to do with your poop, because it happens every single fucking day and it builds up, and it will make you sick. It'll taint your water source. So we need to, as people, know what to do with our waste and where to get fresh water. You can always, like, you could eat leaves if you fucking had to, if it really came down to it. But you can't drink, wood. So you need to find water, and you need to know how to not kill yourself in a sewage situation. Learn how to handle your waste. I highly recommend everybody familiarize themselves with something called a composting toilet. All you need is wood shavings, just like you would put in a hamster cage. You can use wood shavings, you could use hay, you can use whatever. Wood shavings are easier because you can mix it up a little bit better. With the hay, it has to break down more. So hay, if you use hay, cut it up into smaller pieces. It's a lot easier that way. But wood shavings are the best. And you do not pee in the same place that you poop. You pee and you put your pee elsewhere. So just poop in the composting toilet. You take a 5-gallon bucket, and then you get a camping toilet seat. The camping toilet seats clip down. They're $12 at Walmart, and they're designed to be on top. It clips to a 5-gallon bucket, and it has a lid and a seat. So now your 5-gallon bucket is your fully enclosed, fully functional toilet. What you do is you put the wood shavings in the toilet, and then you poop. And then after you poop, you put a little wood shavings on top of it. And then you can just continue to do that until it gets full. And you can mix it up a little bit. It doesn't smell. It doesn't smell at all. It smells like wood shavings, like sweet wood shavings. And then you're going to want to find a place in your yard that is about 100 feet away from any water source. So if you've got a well in your yard, or if there's a creek or a river or a pond or whatever, you want to be at least 100 feet away from that water source. And you take the wood shavings after you've filled your toilet up, and you make a compost pile, just a compost pile, and you put those wood shavings in there. After the season, you treat it the same that you would treat compost. You do not mix food compost and waste compost. You can use that compost for trees or anything that is not going to like touch your food. So you want to use it like the same way you would use cow shit. It's not the same. Human shit and cow shit is not the same. But you can use it for compost. You just need it separate. But everybody needs to know how to make a composting toilet in the event your electricity goes out, because let me tell you what, you do not want sewage. Like, pee and poop mixed together is the absolute most vile in the ugh. I could not even fathom living life in an RV right now. With the fucking sewage tank attached to you. It smells all the time. RVs, every single RV, I don't care who you are, every single RV smells like shit. Where's Lou? Yeah, the electric toilet. That's right. So you got to understand, when the electricity goes out, the water stops flowing. The water pump that pumps the water into your home requires electricity. So you won't have water coming out of the sink. You won't have water coming out of the toilet. So water is a precious resource, and you shouldn't be flushing water down a toilet, especially in times where you can't renew your source just by turning on a faucet. So, yeah. My whole family calls me Chicken Little because I've been telling everybody, like, yo, you need to learn a little bit of self-sufficiency, especially if you're going to stay living in South Florida. There are millions of people between you and the safety of the mountains. In South Florida, there's nowhere to go for safety. You can't just go hunt. You can, but it's a lot harder in Florida. I'm so bummed, dude. Oh, so Donald Trump is now planning on sending troops, like a ground invasion? Nice.
Rayon is marketed as natural. It is made from plants and it biodegrades, but it is also made using toxic chemicals that is linked to worker illness, as well as being responsible for deforestation in some regions. So, what is it really? Today, we're breaking down rayon from a materials science perspective, what it chemically is, how it's made, and why it is controversial, and also how the different types compare. So, before we get started, hi, I'm Laura. I'm a chemical engineering student who's completely obsessed with everything fiber science related, and I make videos on fiber science, knitting in general, and my life. If you want to follow my knitting in real time, or if you want to be a part of my community that gets to vote on which videos comes up, you should go follow my Instagram, and I would love to have you over there as well. Also, if you enjoy my videos, please give this video a like and comment down below which fiber you want me to do a deep dive in on my next video. So what is rayon really? Rayon is what we call regenerated cellulose fibers. That means it starts out as cellulose, usually from wood pulp, cotton linters, bamboo, etc., and then it is dissolved and reformed into fibers. Cellulose is a polymer made of repeating BD glucose units linked by a beta 1,4 glycosidic bond. And
Oh yeah, that's how it is, Helly.
But it is just the type of cellulose polymer that we're looking at. Also, if you don't,
That's how it goes.
it is just a long chain of.
But to be quite honest, I wouldn't want them talking to me in public either, so
chains pack into
whatever.
tightly semi-crystalline structures.
These are men who are sad
and pathetic and have nothing going for themselves. And I said this a minute ago, but just never forget that the way that people talk to you is truly the way that they talk to themselves. And when someone says nasty things to me, I know that that's a miserable person who can't help but say nasty things to themselves. I don't have that. I don't beat myself up. I don't I don't dislike myself. And so I just choose not to move through the world that way. If someone wants to move through the world that way, that's their right. It is their God-given right to be a total fucking asshole if they want to. It is their right to stay miserable even when there is infinite possibilities to not be miserable. Like, I'm not miserable and I live in a fucking bus in the woods. I, by all accounts, should be miserable, but I'm not because I choose not to be miserable. I don't take my situation out on other people, you know? There's no point. You're welcome to talk shit to me all you want because like I'm not even remotely kidding. I literally wrote a book about how to deal with online harassment and bullying. And ever since I just stopped ever since I stopped caring about what other people said or like moderating it. I don't even moderate it anymore. And the reason that I don't moderate it is because I am making money now on YouTube. So y'all want to talk your shit? Go ahead. By talking shit, you will rest assured help me find all the people who are like the tribe or whatever. I hate that term, but yeah, you will inevitably lead the people who are meant for me to me, and you're making me money. I mean, I'm grateful. Talk shit all you want. Tell me how terrible, stupid, ugly, gross, whatever. I don't care. Who cares if I'm gross? Like, what do you care if I'm gross? Are you in the same room with me? Do you have to smell me? No. Do you have to even sit here and listen to me? No, 100% your choice. So if you hate it and then you continue to consume it, you're doing that to yourself. So it's all on you. I'm not holding the gun to nobody's head. I'm not making nobody stick around here. I'm not asking you for anything. I'm not asking you for money. And I'm not asking you to stay and please watch all my videos and follow and subscribe and go follow all my other channels. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do exactly what I'm going to do, whether you're here or not. If there's 2 people in this chat, I'm going to do the same thing that I would be doing if there was 100 people in this chat. It makes absolutely no difference to me. How come you choose to do that now? I kind of feel like I'm going to do a new hobby today. I was like kind of thinking how if I didn't go to work today that I might sew a skirt or something. But I don't think I have the balls to fire up the machine. But I'm getting like the itch to switch to a new hobby for a little while. Hello, doll. Dang, dude, this rain is so nice. Okay, I'm putting it away. Hold on. What's that belly baby? Love you. Mm. I think like my cat has lips. When something feels really good, she goes. It's like a total, all like her nose and her lips like come together. So cute. Lucky I love you. All the shit you put me through. Thank you, Mel. My dog is a Great Pyrenees. Lost in the sauce, rocket sauce. That real itch right there? There you go. Yeah, you got a real one now, huh? Yeah, my boy's name's Orly. I don't remember. I think it's like Old English something, but I think it means like a trees. It's not, I didn't pick the name, he did, so I was just trying to listen. Hello, Jordan, Merry Meet. Uh, Strenacula prolazu. What the hell? That's an, I can't tell where the spaces are supposed to be. Yeah, that's very, very reflected in the comments. Yes. It's kind of funny when people say that, okay, like, first of all, the person who brought up cultural appropriation is probably 13 years old. Okay. So let's not give them, we'll hear them out and we'll have a conversation, but we need to remember this is a 13-year-old that we're arguing with on the internet. So don't bother. Actual adults don't even look at it like that because we all know that's not the case. Cultural, oh God. Yeah. Other than dreadlocks, what about my life says I am trying to emulate Black culture? I want specifically the 13-year-old who started this. Just dreadlocks. And I mean, I don't know if you have ever experienced what hair does, but when you don't brush it, it does this. So, like, if it was culture specific, my hair just wouldn't do that, right? On its own, with no, you know, I'm not out here, calling myself some hood rat nickname. I'm not out here dressing like how white women think Black women dress, which is its own little niche of like, I'm not out here, emulating in any way, shape, or form anyone's culture or way of life. I'm just existing. I just don't brush my hair. I don't want to brush my hair. It hurts. And I also want long, beautiful hair. But anyway, that's all I'm going to bother with that. Like, I thought that we had all like just agreed, kind of silently agreed that we weren't going to do that real retarded shit anymore where we tried to like own something because we're like a specific color. We're like so blended at this point as a fucking country. Humans had a lot of sex, okay? Historically. So it's like retarded as hell to sit and be like, "Oh, well, I resemble this shade of people. And so therefore like I own it." Like, what? Do you know how mean like mixed people are treated? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. The funny thing too is people cannot conceive the fact that there might be white people who are indigenous too. That's a real funny one. Or native people. Everyone just thinks like, "Oh, Native American, Maori, brown people." They don't even know how the world actually works. And that's just, it's indicative of a teenager who has recently gone through the public education system. That's all. They're still very young, even like all the DEI kids, they're still very young. They're still in school and they're still getting fed this garbage. And now they're all, they're outnumbering the adults in a school, teenagers. So, you know, they are the information leaders when it really comes down to it. They trust each other and information spreads. And they are so desperate in that age to be liked by other people that they will cluster in groups and do dangerous, ridiculous, absolute, honest to God, I fear in public or whatever, groups of teenagers more than anybody, because those are the ones who will do the stupid shit because they've got something to prove. And the rest of us are out here just trying to fucking exist. Like, I'm just trying to be a good mom and a good you know, a good steward to my pets and a good person to the people around me and a good worker for the people whose properties I take care of, you know? I just I have absolutely no hate in my heart for anybody. I'm not out here trying to you know, I just don't know. I just don't understand it. I'm so I'm you could not pay me any amount of money ever to go backwards. Ever. I am so fucking grateful that I am an adult in today's world and not a child. And based on that acknowledgement, I'm raising my son in a way that I'm doing my best to preserve his humanity and his empathy and his trust in the world, um, and his confidence in himself. It's very difficult when they are just it's coming from all fucking directions that, you know, you should be depressed. Everyone's depressed. You should be on medication for being depressed or anxious because everybody's anxious. Everyone's depressed. It's, you know, it's, it's, they introduce sex to kids too early. And public school, I'm sorry, but especially with the last like 5 to 8 years of public school, I'm really worried about those kids. And I have a real fear of what's going to happen with those kids you know, in turn 20, 25 and are out here making decisions that affect the rest of us because they've been so fucking brainwashed and emotionally manipulated. People are doing the theatrics, but not actually having the feelings. Watching it on television is enough. They don't have to go through things for themselves. It's scary. Bye, sunflower. See you later. It's not an airport. You don't have to announce yourself. Yeah, mountain exploration. Like, I mean, I did dumb shit when I was young, and I am so glad that when I fell flat on my ass, you know, that there wasn't literally 5 people taking video and then posting it to the internet because they want to go viral. Like, that's the world we live in. If there's a car accident, instead of acting, people pull their phones out. And it's frightening, to be quite honest. Like, I really like the access to technology and all of that. I love it. I'm so grateful to the internet. I love the internet. It's done so much for me. It's changed my life. And every time my life has changed, it's been because of the internet somehow. Like, I did found something on the internet so I love technology. I love having all of this. However, I am a specific person who can like regulate herself, and I'm not addicted to scrolling. I'm not addicted to consuming content that makes me miserable. But a lot of people don't have that self-regulation, and so they get on these like, I don't know, it's just affected society really badly, and I can acknowledge that. And so I think that even if it affects me in the sense that like, okay, well, I will lose the ability to do a lot of the things that I do today out of convenience or, you know, interest, whatever. Um, Even if I have to walk it back, I would still like for society to kind of turn around and go back somehow. Yeah, actually, that's what we do. My ex-husband is really religious. Not really. I mean, I wouldn't say really, but he's very much a Bible guy. And I fully support that. I read the Bible with my son, and I'm not a Christian. I guess I could be considered a Christian technically, but not in the sense that, so I'm not going to call and identify it. But I study Christ. I study the words of Christ. I study, and I mean genuinely like study, like stories of like what Christ did and during his life, whatever. But so Christ is different, I guess. Jesus. I study Jesus, the person. I study what Jesus said because I like to just see what people said and what people did just in general. I am very fascinated. That's like why I live stream, even because I think it's fascinating to see how other people exist. And, I just think it's interesting. But anyway, so yeah, I study Jesus, but I'm not like a follower of Christ, if that makes sense. It's not witchcraft. Thank you very much. I don't practice any witchcraft at all. I don't know if you've ever heard of this little country on the other side. It's called Norway and Sweden. Actually, there were these people who existed who, I know it's weird to think about, but they had a written language. It was different than the written language that you're used to today. I'm fucking Scandinavian. But I don't practice any witchcraft at all. I don't have to. I pray to God and I get what I want. I just ask God what to do, and then God will flash a little flashlight at the end of the dark hallway I'm supposed to just head down, and I will just bumble my way in the dark towards that light because God told me to. That's what I do. And I 100% I have a relationship with whatever it is. But it has kept me safe. It has kept me like aware of things to come before, like not like a psychic or anything, but like I just had this like intuitive feeling like we should get the fuck out of here. We should move. And then once we moved, like just everything got so much better. That's just one example, one small example. But I prayed to God just the other day and asked him what to do with that damn cat. I was like, if there's somebody who will love this cat and treat her well, you just tell me when I'm supposed to put her up on the community page or marketplace or whatever. You just tell me when to put her up on the marketplace and I will do it. And the next morning that bitch woke me up, knocking all my shit down. And like the one thing that I could really, I found all the pieces to it. So I knew it was just God telling me the time is now. And so I posted her on the thing, and 5 minutes later, the woman who ended up taking her messaged me, and it was just perfect. And that's how I live my life. Is I pray, I ask God what to do. I say just give me some kind of like sign. Just show me something that will make me go, oh, okay, okay, okay. And I will just do it, whatever it is. I'm in a constant, I say this a lot, but I am in a constant trust fall with God. And that's like basically how I live my life. What are you doing? It's Amy. It scared me too. It's okay. It was just Amy. It's okay. Okay, I do not live in a van. I don't. I do not live in a van. You've seen the house that I house sit for? The cabin? Those people will be back. Oh, my watch is dead. Those people will be back March 10th. So I will not be over there as much as of March 10th. I actually should go over there today. What's today? What's today? Today's the 4th? Yeah. Okay. Stop worrying. It's only the 4th. I have a dreadlock job this weekend. And then I have my people coming back on the 10th. So I have to, on the 9th, I wonder what day of the month that is, day of the week. It's like a Monday. That'll be perfect. That will be perfect because then on the 9th, I can clean the whole house and like get the house ready for them, get all their sheets washed and have all the beds like fresh for when they come home. But yeah, no, I don't live in a van. Sorry, I got spaced out. That's not what all my plans are. Those are just my aside from my normal job, what I have to do. And it's specific to this cabin. So I don't give a shit what you think. You can go watch my actual content on my any of my content like TikTok or here, and you can see the work that I do. So I don't care what you think. I don't care. And if I wanted to sit here and do absolutely fucking nothing and just completely rot in this bed for 2 days, I could do that because I own my own business. I own my shit. I own my house. I own my truck. I own land. Like I own my own shit outright. Don't make any payments on it. Okay. So I could do whatever I want. It's called freedom. It's called creating a life that you don't feel the need to escape from. Don't get me wrong. It's hard. It's not comfortable. My life is not comfortable, but I love it. I'm fucking love my life. I'm so lucky. I would take having to live like this if it meant that I got to have the job that I have and the people that I get to have in my life. Oh my God. I love the people that I work for. I love them. They're good people. And I don't have to like work for strangers. I don't have to go and have some person who's younger than me tell me what to do and how to do it. I don't have anyone standing over my shoulder watching me do stuff and tell me that I need to do it a different way. I like have I'm so fucking lucky and I am so grateful. Thank you, God, so much for the work that I do. Thank you. I say it every single day. I am so grateful. Why is this thing not working? I'm a little bit stoned. I hate being stoned. I got this CBD stuff. It's like CBD coconut oil stuff. I don't know what it is really, but I've been nervous to take it. But I think I might do that today. I think I might try first by applying it topically on my wrist that's sore from the other day. I posted a short about it, but like on Sunday, I was building a greenhouse and it's like one of those ones that it's like 18 feet wide. It's maybe not that much, maybe like 13 feet wide. And then it's like 20 feet long. And it has the top that goes like this. It's like cathedral shaped or something like that. And anyway, part of building this and the reason why he got it for such a good deal is because you have to drill the holes yourself for like the pipes where they connect. Like there's this pipe that fits into this pipe is a little bit skinnier. It's been crimped a little bit. So it fits in there and you got about 4 inches of, space for, your bracket. And then you have to drill your own hole. So he got self-tapping screws. Now these are steel pipes. And so I had to do, which I don't weigh very much. I'm like 130 pounds. So this is, I don't quite understand how to put all my weight on something without falling. I mean, you're putting it was I don't struggle with the words for the stuff, but it was not a like Phillips head screw. It was a self-tapping screw with like a bolt top. And so the ratchet drill that I was using had the wrench top thing, whatever, the fitting that goes on the bolt. So then I'm balancing on a pipe that's this big around, about that thick of steel, and I have to go through both of the pipes, and I'm trying to balance on this bolt. And it's it's a round shape and you got a pointy thing. It could slip and do that. And so like I was afraid to put all my weight on it because I was afraid I was going to like go sending myself face first into the fucking concrete, but I had to go through both of the steel things. And I mean, I did it, but it was hard. Really, really, really hard. And I have actually, that's the first time in my life that I've ever been able to get self-tapping screws to work through metal. Hold on, let me see if I have the video on my tablet I can show you. It's funny. I literally was so pathetic. I was so embarrassed. I like cringed about it even a little bit. Like this morning, like at 2:00 in the morning, I was just like, oh my God, Heather, it's so embarrassing in front of Brian. Cause like I'm like the tough guy. I'm like the girl who can like I'm the first woman he's ever hired to do this job. Usually he has a dude doing the work that I do. And you know, I can do everything. I can do anything. If you just show me how to do it and give me a chance to like figure things out for myself a little bit, give me about an hour to fuck up and like figure it out. And then I can do it. And then I'll be like a little machine. I'll do it exactly right every time. But like I don't usually work side by side with him when I'm figuring things out and like learning the technique. And so I was learning the technique in front of him the whole time and it was very embarrassing because I'm just like a little girl. That's what I swear to God, I literally felt like it was like watching a child in the kitchen try to crack an egg. That's literally what it felt like. I felt like the child. And I told him that I was like, because when you're watching a child crack an egg and you're just like, oh, I'll just do it for you. You know what I mean? Like you have to really sit back and like let the child go through the process of learning, even though you know that you could just get it done in like 5 seconds, and that's what it was like he was watching. And I was just like, thank you for giving me a chance to try to figure this out. But there were a couple of times where it was actually so difficult that I was like, okay, you should try this one because I think that something's going on. And then actually seems like I think it was a couple of the self-tapping screws. Someone had already like used them a little bit. So there were a couple of bad ones mixed in there. But the one that I could not do myself, he actually couldn't do it either. It was like really difficult. And so he took it out and put a new one in and then it just went through like butter. But gosh. But I really I had I had fun. Okay. I had fun doing it, but like it was really difficult. Not my favorite of the things. It was actually the hardest drilling into those pipes. I think might be the most physically strenuous thing I've ever done at that job. And that's like really saying something. The next day, uh, the next day, I got a full body workout. I was pulling blackberry weeds, and the blackberries are like, okay. Don't let your looks be deceived. That shit right there at its tallest point is 12 feet tall. That shit towers over me. Like if I stood on the ground, I would only come to like, oh, where's my finger? I would only come to like right there. And the blackberry bushes tower over me. But so, we were working on blackberry bushes that were not that tall. They were only about 4 feet high. So I could get my chest in there. So I could just like walk through the blackberry bushes and like snip, snip, snip. And then, so what I did is I got low so that where it's coming out of the ground, you've got your big blackberry stalks coming out. They're like, some of them were like this big. It was fucking, that was some crazy black. They were like dark purple too. It was crazy. But anyway, so I would cut the blackberry bushes down low and then come back up and like fold them over and like roll them into themselves so that it became like this big ball of blackberry bushes. And then I had to go back and pull all the roots out. And blackberry bushes are, their roots are a nightmare, especially when they get big, because they get this like, I just had the word and now I've lost it. They have a bulb kind of thing on them. I can't remember the word of it. I just had it in my mouth a second ago. No, it's a tuber. It's a tuber. They have like tubers on them, but they're not quite like potatoes. It's just like the stalk. And then at the bottom of the stalk, there's like a big, thick thing. And it looks like it has spikes on it, but really those are just root buds. They're not pokey at all. They're just root buds. And that's if you're able to get it out of the ground when it's still young. If it's established, that tuber expands and becomes really thick. And then it like coils down into the dirt like that. So you have to, I had the hori hori. I had a hori hori, a set of pruners, and a set of the big pruners. They were still the small like hook like that. I want ones that are like scissors, that have the big scissor blades on them, because I could get in there and just whack, 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 whack. Are you ready to go potty outside? I can't stop the rain, baby. I can put on your rain jacket if you want. You want to put on your jacket and go outside? You don't have to sit there and whine like that. You could just let me know. I have a dog who complains a lot about everything. No, I use a Juul and cannabis live rosin vape. Because I have like all these stomach issues. Oh, I went to the doctor. So, I don't know if Violet is still in here, but I went to the doctor yesterday and I told her about how I quit smoking the vape and the vapes altogether, and what happened, and how I was like super sick to my stomach. And I forgot essentially the reason I started smoking that Juul to begin with is because it makes it so that it resets my sniffer. It makes it so that I don't feel sick to my stomach anymore. And the reason why I started smoking cannabis, I didn't smoke cannabis from 2008. I was like 20 something, in my 20s. And then I didn't smoke all through after I got pregnant with Elliot. I didn't smoke until I was like 38. So I started smoking cannabis. I stopped in my 20s and I started in my 30s, like 38 or something, because it made it so that I could eat, because they had this live rosin stuff. and I don't have to smoke cannabis. I don't like smoking. I don't like the smell of smoke. It makes me sick to my stomach. And I don't like the smell of weed, actually. The smell of burning weed, it like is very skunky and I don't like it. So the only thing I could find as a solution was the vape for the cannabis. Now I can eat. I get hungry. If I don't consume cannabis, I don't get hungry. And then I'll have headaches, I'll be sick to my stomach, but I still can't eat because I'm like so nauseated that the idea of food makes me want to throw up. So it's a real fucking struggle. I'm gonna try. That's why I was talking about that CBD stuff I got from the guy that I work for. One of my houses that I work for. He gave me some CBD stuff that he made, and I'm nervous to try it because I don't know. Like I'm always nervous to try things for the first time. So I had it for like a week and I've been looking at it and thinking about it for about a week. And so I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to pick a spot in my body that's kind of sore and I'm going to apply it topically. And I'm going to see if I notice any effect whatsoever. And if it does something, then maybe I'll take a dropper full or whatever, which is the dose. Oh yeah, dog outside. Come on. Let's go outside. Let's put on your little jacket. Come here. He's a good boy. Yes, he is. He's a good boy. Yes, he is. He's doing good boy stuff and doing things that are good because he's a good boy. Where's the clip at? What's the dooski? All right, hold on. I'm going to cut this off. Hold on 1 second. Let me go by. Let me cut that off. Hold on. Come here. Hold on. The heater's blasting on my face. He's a good boy. He does good boy things. He's a good boy. He gets all the treats. He's a good boy. He does good boy things. I know you gotta go. I'm hurrying. These scissors suck. I already started this side, so yes. All right. Put your head in the hole. Good job. All right, let's go outside. Come on. Look at that handsome man. Come on, we gotta go outside, go potty. Let's go. You can get a treat outside. Let's go. Why is this over here? Come on, outside. I know it's wet. I know it sucks. But sometimes you just gotta do things that aren't pleasant, okay? Hold on, let me fix this. I don't want to touch your butt. There you go. All right. Went 2 directions. Go potty! You're all tangled up on your foot. Orly, go potty! Go potty! Go! Go potty! He's just looking for treats. Hold on, hold on, hold on. This thing all twist. All right, go. Step. Go. Move your foot. There you go. Go potty. Go potty. Go. Outside, go potty. Oh, now you're interned. Hold on, hold on. You didn't go potty, Orly. What in the shit? God, Orly. Go potty. No, not in the house. Go potty. Go in the grass and go potty. All right, come on. Uh-oh. You're not getting a treat. You didn't go potty, dude. No potty, no treat. I see what you're doing. I see that tail. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Stress yawn. You can have a tiny one. Oh, look, this is my old van. I used to live in that van. That's my kiddo on the outside of the van. That's the van that I sold to my ex-boyfriend, the one who called me out of the blue 3 days after I prayed to God to help me find a bus. He called me and was like, "Can I buy your van?" And I was like, "No fucking way." "Yeah, sure. For $10,000. I paid 5 for it. And he was like, "Okay." And so then I was like, "Oh shit, there better be a bus that I can buy like right away," because it was my daily driver and it was also my house. So I needed a hotel and a rental car until I found a bus. And as it turns out, when I typed in school bus for sale, Eugene, Oregon, the very first thing to pop up was this bus. And the guy was less than a mile from where I was standing. And the bus was $2,000 less than what I was selling my van for. So I prayed to God. And 3 days later, I had this bus. And it's funny because I actually did a little mandala of a geometric pattern out of sticks and flowers and like salt, rock salts, pieces of salt, not rock salt, but the Himalayan sea salt, and bee pollen. I did a couple of things. I did like a little mandala, like a little altar to God, and I said, "Thank you, Lord, for my whole life." And I am a coiled spring. If you just show me what direction to swing into, I'll go. Just show me. I'm gonna bumble around in the dark, God. And if you could just flash a little tiny flashlight down, just whichever direction you want me to bumble, just flash a little light, just, and then I'll just start bumbling in that direction. And that's what I do. Free fall with God, trust fall with God at all times. You just have to know what you want and then be willing and patient. Willingness and patience. It's not going to be comfortable. Orly, what do you want? You want me to put food in your bowl? What's that? Oh, live stream starts. Corey Richins trial. There you go. Oop. Oh, I kind of want a cookie, but I don't want a cookie. Let me eat real food first. No, I'm not a witch. I don't know what. It's really weird. I never even thought of that before, that people would look at me and think that I was a witch. But I could totally lean into the whole witchy appearance.
Before we get into what we're working on this week, I do want to show you our new.
So here is that clip you were talking about with Marco Rubio, which just kind of hammers.
My doctor, oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. So my doctor prescribed me some new medication to try and help with my stomach issues. I think it's basically prescription Pepsid, famotidine, something like that. So we're going to see if I take this medication, if I take this and it works, then maybe maybe my heart isn't actually having issues at all. Maybe it's my stomach, you know? I'm pretty sure it's my heart just because of like the fact that like my lips went numb, you know. I think definitely there's something going on with my heart, but there's definitely something going on with my stomach. So, we're going to see if it works. Yes, prescription antacid. Yes. And the funny thing is I don't normally get heartburn actually. But last night I ate this, it was Taco Tuesday at my favorite restaurant. And so I got a burrito and I ate a burrito for dinner, went to bed, and I had heartburn from like 1 a.m. till it's just now kind of starting to go away. But I've had heartburn all morning and I don't normally get heartburn. I just think it's hilarious that she prescribed me this medication, which is known for heartburn, and it's GERD. I think it's what it is. I don't know. I told her, I was like, have you heard of people having like GERD and like what the symptoms are? And I listed out, you know, we were talking about all my symptoms and like the weird shit that happens with my stomach. And it's in conjunction with the fact that I have synesthesia. So when I smell things, I like see colors and like kind of shapes. I don't know how to quite explain it, but or articulate it. But anyways, so because of that and the conjunction with the stomach issues, it's making it very difficult for me to eat food or get hungry, smell food, and have like, you know, I smell food and I immediately want to throw up instead of smelling food and immediately getting hungry. And that's like not normal. So I've been trying to like have at least a couple salads a week. I've been eating actually a lot of salad lately. Like I ate nothing but salad one day this week. It was so good. Just I like a mixture with the salad greens, but also a little bit of iceberg lettuce. I like them together. And then I do broccoli, shredded carrots, peas, like fresh peas, and blue cheese. And it's really good. No onions, no egg, nothing like that. No fanciness. Just keep it simple. Oh yeah, and some tomato. Cherry tomatoes. Oh, thank you very much. Orly! What do you want? Let me take his jacket off and see if he wants that off. You want your jacket off? Can you stand up? Up, 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 up. Come on. Stand up. Stand up. Why is all this on the floor? Cat, god damn it. Fucking cat, dude. Oh no. All the rocks have fallen out. Uh-oh. Orly, buddy, you gotta watch out, bud. Elliot's rock collection. Well, one of them. My cat was climbing up on my dresser in the middle of the night, apparently, knocking everything over. Oh, this is awesome. Love that.
Money? Come on, Orly, get up. Let's take off your jacket. It's hard to do this while you're laying down, dude. Come on. You almost hit me in the eye. Let me see your arm. Or let me see your paw. Thank you. Come on, you're making this so difficult. Bend your arm. It's so hard to take this off with you doing that. It's like trying to put a onesie on a 2-month-old or 6-month-old. There you go. Is that better? Why is this on the floor? Look, you got food over here. You want to go outside? Are you serious right now? I just took your shit off. All right, dude, now you're going to get wet and you're going to get cold and you're going to be miserable. Ugh. Go. Do not drink that water. Go potty. Go potty. Do not drink that water. This fucking dog just took his jacket off and now he wants to go outside. God bless him.
About that Israel is. So here is that clip you were talking about with Marco Rubio, which just kind of hammers home what you're saying about that Israel is our leader and we're following them, and our government has been taken over by Zionists. And so here's that clip.
There absolutely was an imminent threat. And the imminent threat was that we knew that if Iran was attacked, and we believed they would be attacked, that they would immediately come after us. And we were not going to sit there and absorb a blow.
See, I told you. That's what he said. People called me a liar earlier.
Someone else, Israel attacked them. They hit us first, and we waited for them to hit us.
He's like so anxious.
Proactively in a defensive way to prevent them from inflicting higher damage. Had we not done so, there would have been hearings on Capitol Hill about how we knew that this was going to happen, and we didn't act preemptively to prevent more casualties and more loss of life.
Told you.
That is classic Zionist logic to me. That is they start a war of aggression and they say that they're doing it.
What's
in
a tapestry?
posture.
This is fabric from Joanne's.
Victim. But what he's basically
right here. It's faded. I need to switch it around. It's faded in that one spot right there a little bit.
So you want to respond to
But
that?
yeah, it's
He's openly admitting it.
this from Joanne's.
And this idea of first that
Sometimes I put this on the ceiling.
the U.S. completely encircled it with its assets. Where did that come from first? It was first filtered out by Scott Jennings. You know who he is? Yes, the CNN.
Yeah, he is. I think he's about ready to come back
Like
in.
their token Trump guy on CNN. He's a vehicle for Israel.
Dude.
Junkets to Israel paid for by the Israeli Foreign Ministry. You see them with these blue squares on their jacket lapels. I've heard they're getting kickbacks from the Anti-Defamation League to wear those blue squares, which are ADL logos. Van Jones is clearly
it's little rocks.
the Israeli payroll. He just interviewed the clown prince Reza Pahlavi. I mean, how does he get furnished the Israeli-controlled clown prince who wants to be king of Iran? And so it was Scott Jennings who let that leak out. There are now reports that CNN higher ups are angry about it because it was such a lie. All of this is coming from the Israelis. All the intelligence on Iran, if you want to call it intelligence, all of the narratives, the rhetoric that you hear from this administration, it's all being delivered to them on a platter by the Mossad, which is briefing CIA Director John Ratcliffe, who feeds it to Trump. And Trump is just lapping it all up as his brain turns to, like, I don't know, bong water and some mixture of bong water and like floor sweat at the Mar-a-Lago ballroom. It's evident when you look at the photo of the Situation Room, which I highlighted. When you look at the photo and you see Trump as
Good
with
boy.
the
And you
A-team
can get a treat and I'll fill your water up.
when they decided to go in and bomb. Everyone saw the video of Trump like bopping his head, having a party at Mar-a-Lago, and then he's about to go into the room and announce the war with his USA hat on. And then B team is actually in the Oval Office or in the White House Situation Room. And the B team is JD Vance, Tulsi Gabbard, that crew that's more likely to be dissenters. They're just there for like window dressing. The A team is in control. Who's the A team? First of all, Susie Wiles, Chief of Staff. Susie Wiles controls who's in the room and everything Trump sees and hears. She is the most dangerous person in Washington because she's mostly behind under the radar. She worked for Benjamin Netanyahu.
Ugh.
Trump's chief of staff was hired by Benjamin Netanyahu to help assist his 2020 re-election campaign. So she's a paid vehicle for Israeli influence. Then Marco Rubio's in there, of course. His whole career has been paid for by two figures, pretty much. The Adelson family, who are cutouts for Israel, Miriam Adelson and the late casino baron Sheldon Adelson. I mean, they're so close to Israel, they actually had to testify and keep flying to Tel Aviv to testify in Netanyahu's corruption trials. And Paul Singer, who's also one of Trump's top donors. Paul Singer's like Marco Rubio's pimp. And this guy donates to politics on behalf of Israel. And then you have John Ratcliffe, who, as I reported last year, is being called by junior staffers.
Oh, yeah, I mean, another bikini top. I forgot about that one.
He hosts his counterpart, Mossad Director David Barnea, constantly. And Barnea tells him what to tell the president. And John Ratcliffe, he has no ability to think independently. He's a complete nobody who is a small town lawyer in suburban Dallas, who is a backbench congressman, who was recruited by AIPAC to run for Congress. His whole career was groomed by AIPAC, cultivated by AIPAC. The AIPAC new CEO, in leaked comments that I exposed at the Quasum, because I had a source outside a closed AIPAC conference. It was like a congressional thing. The new CEO of AIPAC said, we've been working with Marco Rubio and John Ratcliffe and Mike Waltz, who's now the UN ambassador for the US. We've been working with them for so long because they were in Congress. And when they all started running for Congress, we recruited them and we made sure that we supported them for their entire congressional career so that when they went into the Trump administration, we had clear lines of communication with all of the national security principles. So that's Israel's
coffee.
So they basically have these guys like puppets on a string. And therefore they have Trump. Trump's sort of isolated in there. No one's the only person who tried to talk sense to Trump was Tucker Carlson. Who was the last person who tried to talk sense to Trump on Iran? Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk. Well, Charlie Kirk, conveniently for Trump and Israel, is not with us. And if you're in the White House, you're at any level, at any position,
baby.
you or someone close to you,
Elliot, just freshly cooked.
retweets anything that Charlie said about not going to war with Iran.
Yo.
You would be considered a security threat. I know this for a fact. And Trump will send like
Now that kitten's not here, I can actually have that thing out and
they're trying
look
to
at it.
silence Charlie his death. And Tucker Carlson is facing real threats. There's a guy named Amit Segal. He's one of the most prominent journalists in Israel. He's like the poodle of Netanyahu. He's like Netanyahu's face in Israeli media. And he said, after the Ayatollah was assassinated, the #1 anti-Semite on the planet is Tucker Carlson. So Netanyahu's top press stenographer put a target on Tucker Carlson's back and wants to see him. It seems like he wants to see him get Charlie Kirked. And everyone else is intimidated, and Trump is cornered, and Israel is completely
Yay, liquid calories.
where Iran, with respect to
This is a bus.
so Trump is committing treason to America and humanity with this war, and we need to see it clearly.
This is a school bus.
American soldiers continue to die for the ambitions of a foreign apartheid state.
Do you think that do you think it would make a difference if someone like Tulsi Gabbard?
I need to order henna.
Because she was saying what we say. She was like, Trump should stop. In 2019 and 2018, she interviewed legislation that said Trump shouldn't be able to attack Iran without congressional approval. She's been totally against this up until the point where she got into the Trump administration. In fact, even last April, she's saying, no, Iran's not looking to, they're not a threat. They're not looking to make nuclear weapons. And then Trump just dismissed her because Benjamin Netanyahu doesn't want to hear that. So he goes, yeah, I don't listen to her. So what is she doing there if she doesn't have any influence? And would it make, do you think she should resign? And if she did, would it make a difference?
I don't know what she's doing on the inside. What I understand from sources who are definitely not on the inside, don't have access to the president, but, are closer to the action than I would be, it's kind of like grapevine stuff, is that she's been pretty much isolated from any of these.
No, I don't have tattoos on my feet.
So if that's the case, and she can't have any influence,
It's not Celtic, it's Scandinavian.
Leak to the press and try to undermine the policy from within.
I don't drive my bus, you know that.
And there was George Ball.
I used to drive my bus around, and when I first moved into the bus, it was my only vehicle. It was my daily driver and my house. So, I had no choice but to drive it around. But I ended up, after about 2 or 3 months of living, like trying to live van life in a bus, stressfully, I prayed. I went back to the drawing board and I prayed to God, and I was like, God, if land is in my highest good, please I am coiled. I will shoot towards whatever it is you tell me to. Just if it'd be safe to have land. You kind of caught me with my pants down on this bus situation because it happened so fast. I prayed and then I had a bus 3 days later. I really was not truly prepared. So when you pray for things, be super prepared because God will deliver, but it's going to come to you from a direction that makes you cringe and makes you very uncomfortable. And so you have to lean into the cringe, which is the title of my book. You have to lean into the cringe if you are willing to accept God's blessing. You have to earn it, basically. You have to prove to God that you really want it by doing literally anything, even things that make you uncomfortable. So that's how I got my bus. And then I went back 3 months. I was doing bus life and I went back to the drawing board and prayed. And 3 days later, God literally put someone in my life, and then we had land. So it worked out. It was like, I don't know. I don't want to say it was manifesting because honestly, like, I don't even know how to do that. Like, I already live my life in the way that a manifester would, but like, I somehow seemingly cannot manifest other things. So it's just like, there's no rhyme or reason to it. What I truly believe though, is that it was God intervening, somehow. And that's how I ended up getting it, because I was willing to do the most uncomfortable thing with this with the van, I mean, I did the prayer, and then this guy who I had blocked on every I don't even know how he got through to my number, because he was such a fucking jerk. And the last time that we had spoken, it was really not, it was, I had to call the cops and stuff. And so I was not going to answer the phone. I didn't want anything to do with him, but I had just done that prayer, and I know that God is funny like that. So I was like, I really hope this is, this is the way to the bus, because I really don't want to talk to this guy. And so, yeah, I leaned in and I answered the phone, and he bought my van, and then I bought the bus. So that's right, Violet. Mm-hmm. Right. So that's the thing is, Joshua, you have to be willing to do the uncomfortable thing, but also, you know, it isn't easy. I mean, it isn't. And a lot of people tend to, and they don't even realize that that's their prayer coming to them, because it's, they pray for something, and then something seemingly out of the ordinary that makes them uncomfortable occurs. And then they're like, ugh, and now this, not really realizing that, yeah, you're actually supposed to, like, problems are not problems. They're not end all be all situations. Problems are just things that need your attention right now. And so, whatever the biggest problem is, it's the thing that needs your attention the most. And so, you give it your attention, you solve the problem, and then you move on. It's Life is full of problems. Like, that's literally what days are like. It's not supposed to be just like smooth sailing on a fucking beach and on the coast of Mexico or something. That's not, that's what a television is telling you is the idea of relaxing. You know what I mean? That's not everybody's idea of relaxing. That's not everybody's idea of, like, that's just not, it's not real either. Like, that's a vacation. But we have to do uncomfortable things. We have to do things that make us miserable. I smoked, and so now I'm stoned. So now my brain is doing dial tone things. But yeah, we have to do things that make us uncomfortable, and it will, if you find that right after you did a real prayer for something, that something weird occurs, like, lean into that, whatever it is. Like, do the trust free fall with God. Wow. I don't even know if I want to watch this video. It's going to make me upset. Yeah, well, I don't know how to think about nothing. So I do like to stare into space and think about lots of things. But I don't know how to just sit still and do nothing. Honestly, I really don't. I'm over here chomping at the bit to start a craft. I've been thinking about it all day, and I'm basically fidgeting and whatever nonstop because I'm thinking about starting a new hobby, but I don't want to do that right now, really. I kind of just want to force myself to just sit still, because today's the only day that I have available to sit still. And I still do have to do something technically. I have to go to the cabin, and I have to do all the things that I need to do. I just don't really feel like doing anything today. I kind of just want to force myself to be a Bruno Mars song or whatever. I'd struggle with that, though. All right, I'm going to listen to this.
Benjamin Netanyahu has been working towards this a long time, and he's very eager to tell you that. He wants to tell
I told you guys.
feels that
People
that's
were
play well. I
telling me I don't know anything this morning.
realize how easy it is to
But
get an instant translation these days.
I do. I just struggle with articulating my thoughts.
We are in a campaign in which we are bringing the full force of the IDF to this campaign as never before to ensure our existence and our future. But we are also bringing to this campaign the assistance of the United States, my friend, United States President Donald Trump, the United States military. This combination of forces allows us to do what I have been wishing to do for 40 years, to decisively strike the terrorist regime. I promised so and so it will be done. I guess that's avoiding the name of God, right? Now, don't worry. If any of you are worried about the family Netanyahu, don't worry. When he talks about sacrifice of soldiers, he doesn't mean anyone dear to him. Netanyahu's son is living in a luxury apartment in Miami with $680,000 a year in state-funded personal security. Meanwhile, Americans are dying for Israel in the Middle East. So if anyone there was worried about Netanyahu's son, don't worry. He's fine. He's drinking Long Island iced teas down there in Miami.
My son gets a lot of pussy. I'll have you know.
He gets quite a lot. He doesn't know what to do with it, but he gets it.
He gets it.
But hey, he's not kidding. He's wanted to do this for 40 years. In fact, there's tape. There's tape of him trying to lie
It's just a troll.
into attacking Iran for 40 years. For 40 years of evidence right here.
Oh, it's a bot. It's bots. Someone's botting me.
2 months. They have the wherewithal.
That's what it's
stored up knowledge. Make a bomb very quickly.
All right.
They wanted to do it. Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away.
Yes, the tattoo on my neck is Scandinavian.
They're very close.
Ah, see, this is exactly the video I was talking about. They're playing it right now. Okay, so look. So he's talking about it's 40 years. Skips it like 20 seconds. So all these years of him.
Wherewithal, stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly. If they wanted to do it. Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs. They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90%.
This is 2012.
Iran is gearing up to have produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade. Ladies and gentlemen, time is running.
1996.
Producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
That's 1995. That's 1995. What else?
That's the video I was talking about. I saw that on Twitter yesterday or the day before.
This is a clip.
And those boys were telling me that I'm stupid. But I remember him saying this. Like, I've been alive all this time. In 1995, I was already like 12. Something like that. I was either 10. Yeah, I must have been 10 or 11. 11.
From 1980 of Netanyahu talking about how Israel controls the Congress and the Senate.
Okay, this is Netanyahu on Israeli television in 1980.
We have a strong influence over the general support in America. America won't force us into anything. This is 1980. And here he is in 2001, being even more explicit. Aren't you afraid of what they'll say, Bibi? No. Especially today with the U.S., I know how they are. America is something.
It was caught on.
Not deeply fast. Aren't you afraid of what they'll say, Bibi? No. Especially today with the U.S., I know how they are. America is something. Right, fast. He's doing that Hebrew fast talking. Sometimes they do that. I know how they are. America is something that you can easily maneuver and move in the right direction. And even if they say something, so then they say something, so what? 80% of Americans support us. By Americans, he means American. It's absurd. We have such support there, and here we're thinking, well,
I mean, I remember watching television. It must have been 95, maybe as early or as late as 2000. I was at my mom's or at my grandmother's house. I just can't remember whose house I was at because I kind of lived between, I bounced around between my grandma and my mom a lot. But I remember seeing him talk about that. And I remember having a conversation with my grandmother because I was just a kid and I was just like, well, why would they want to go to war? Why can't people just get along? Like, I don't understand how they can't just talk to each other, sit down and have a dinner with each other, and then realize, oh, we're all just humans, like trying to have this human experience for the very first time ever. Maybe, things could get resolved if you just actually communicate and let someone understand your side. But, both parties have to be willing to understand each other and the goal has to be de-escalation. The goal can't be like, I have to prove how right I am to you. The goal is to like have a conversation with the goal, like to end up with a resolution and a common goal. So if both parties have that mentality and you have a conversation, it shouldn't be very hard to resolve, but it's just crazy because I remember so vividly like thinking like, wow, Israel just really wants us to go to war for them. And my grandmother, I'm glad she talked to me like a person because I was young, but this must have been like after 2000 because it was either around the same time. I can't remember if it was before or after the order, but I'm pretty sure I was younger when we had that initial conversation when I watched Bibi Netanyahu on television. Pretty sure Bill Clinton was in office. So it must have been, it could have been, when did W come into play? I don't remember. But anyway, so I remember when 9/11 happened, I immediately didn't believe I didn't believe it. And I said to my grandmother, I was like, holy shit, this is going to be the thing. I was 17 when 9/11 happened. It is fucking raining like a crazy person today. There are daffodils growing on the hillside right now. Where are they? Look for the pop of yellow. You see that little pop of yellow growing right there? There's two little clusters of daffodils. Hopefully you can see the color differentiation. There they are. There are two little daffodil plants growing just randomly on the fucking hillside. Yeah, I do want to be a Bruno Mars song today. I don't give myself that very often. I don't do a lot I don't do a lot of relaxing. But I mean, like, honestly, it could be that I feel this way mostly because it's so rainy. And I wake up with the sun and I go to sleep with the sun, So like I live in very close to nature and I'm living in a bus. It's like glorified camping. Let's just be real. Okay. So I live outside basically. And I work outside. So I'm like, I guess my sleep and my rhythms are in tune with nature. And I don't know if you noticed what animals do when it rains, but all your animals in the house will just curl up and sleep. Like my cat and my dog are just like curling up and sleeping. That's what I want to do too. Not really sleep though. I can't just waste the whole day sleeping. I can't. I can relax maybe, but I can't go as far to just sleep all day. I don't like that. And I'm not going to waste the whole day sleeping. I could be thinking about something or listening to something. The goal is to try and learn something new every day. Man, it is really coming down. I have dreads because I want long hair, and my hair is very baby fine, and my hair tangles very easily, and it does these things called fairy knots, which is like where literally one strand of hair will knot with another strand of hair. Like it's not like a hair knot. My hair knot's like on the individual strand level. And so when I have to brush it out, it actually breaks the hair because that knot just gets caught and it snaps. So what ends up happening is over time of brushing my hair ends up being very stringy and looking like absolute shit because my hair is very soft and very, very baby fine. And so like my dreadlocks weigh like nothing. They're super flexible, they're very soft, they don't hold water, so they can dry thoroughly, so they never stink. Thank God. But I was a professional dread maker or whatever for many, many years. But honestly, I don't do maintenance on my hair. I just kind of let it do its own thing. And if it starts doing something really funky, then I'll intervene. But for the most part, I just kind of let my hair do its thing. And I don't like brushing my hair because it hurts. But I want long, hyper feminine hair. Like that's what I like, having very long hair. So I can't have all those in any other way. So dreadlocks it is. And now I have like a thick head of hair instead of like a ponytail that's like this and all stringy. I don't regret the tattoos, so. Okay, so. It just looks like you want to be like a victim and argue. That's what it feels like. I'm not going to get roped into it. Do it to someone else. So, anyway. So, yeah, my hair is very light and very soft, and I have really nice dreadlocks, and I like my hair a lot. And so yeah, that's why I have it, because I like it and I want it. And so I do. That's you. You don't live my life. You don't have, you're not the person. I didn't tattoo my face until I was 38 years old. Okay. So I was already a full grown adult, and I had already established business that I owned. I don't have to I don't work for anyone. I work for myself. I, I do whatever I want. And the people who I interact with on a work level, my work ethic speaks louder than anything else. So the fact that I do such a damn good job overweighs anything and anyone who would be judgmental about me having tattoos on my face, I literally wouldn't want to work for them anyway, because they're going to be I know the type of person. And so it's a very good, like litmus test in my life, where if someone has a snarky comment about my face tattoos or my dreadlocks, I immediately know this is not someone that I have to, or I should waste any time engaging with, because it's a it saved me so much heartache and so much trouble. And, it also taught me how to truly not give a fuck what anybody thinks about me, which I've already had pretty down pat my whole life. I've always been my true, goofy, awkward self in private. But what it has done is it has made it so I no longer get that like sensation when you first meet someone and you like them and you feel like you want to impress them in some way, like you want them to like you. I don't have that anymore at all. I never experienced that. It is so nice. I just feel the same no matter what. I genuinely, I'm not here to impress anybody. I already have my whole life figured out. I'm good. I'm just letting you guys look. That's it. I don't want your money. I don't need anything from you. I'm giving you a gift of my time. It's the most valuable thing a person has is their time. So I'm just giving you a window into the way someone else exists. I'm not sure what makes that, how that goes from that to people feeling so entitled, as if I care what you think, you know? Yeah, no power here. That's for sure. Ugh. You're good, girl. My son just asked me that like 2 weeks ago. He's 11. Where is my little thing? Take off this extra. Damn, dude, the wind is fucking going. It looks like spring is here. The willow tree is starting to bud, or, leaves are coming back. Pretty soon the woodpecker will be back. And then the hummingbirds will be back. I literally have hummingbirds that come right up to my bedroom window right here. It is so cool. And then there's a couple of woodpeckers, a little woodpecker family that for bugs in the tree. They have already been here for a while. They have there's so many fucking holes in the tree. I would watch him get bugs and give it to his girlfriend. It was so cute. I mean, like, that's pretty much a dream come true. I don't know about you, but it's always been like a dream of mine to like, I wanted to wake up where, with a beautiful scene outside my window. And granted, behind the tree, it's a shit show everywhere that, Adam and Amy have their shit is it looks like a junkyard. However, if I'm laying in bed, I can see the sky. Okay. There's mountains, there's a river, more mountains. I'm just surrounded by things that are, if I could just not see those things, which I could do, I could put my little blinders on and only pay attention to the good things. And so that's what I do. I can lay in this and I see the sunrise and the sunset and I see the moon rise and I can usually see the moon out of my window at any given point from laying in bed. Which, like, that's a dream. You could have hair just like mine. You just have to go get some dreadlocks and then attach human hair extensions until they're the length that you want. And then you can henna your hair. Go for it.
We should do if. Okay. So
I want to see this one part.
so he told the truth here by accident. We're getting about on camera about the control Israel has over the government. And look where he is. Look where he is. So we're gonna take another look at this because Netanyahu did respond to this. So this is Marco Rubio saying what is supposed to be the soft part out loud. That is
What is that? I'm trying to figure out what's rattling. What could be rattling on my bus? The hula hoop? Or the tarp that's covering up my hang upside down machine?
what's good about having an administration of morons, crackpots, freaks, weirdos, and people full of arrogance and hubris. A lot of times they tell the truth by accident. So he told the truth here by accident.
Is why now? Well, there's two reasons why now. The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond and respond against the United States. The orders had been delegated down to the field commanders. It was automatic, and in fact, it appeared to be true because, in fact, within an hour of
Cat hair everywhere.
the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first.
Dude, do not argue with these people. Oh my gosh, don't even worry about them. Girl, don't like I appreciate it so much. I genuinely do, but do not let these people who are genuinely here saying things on purpose to try to make you upset. Don't give them the one thing that they want is you to get upset. So, you know, you can practice in here for your real life and utilize this as a situation and an opportunity to learn how to become unfuckwithable. And so the thing is that people are miserable in their own little lives, and they want us all to be miserable too. Like, they know in their hearts that all they have to do is just decide not to be so fucking miserable, not so judgmental, not so hateful in the world, like in their thoughts, and therefore that will manifest in the world. Like, they know all these things at this point, and they still choose to be miserable. So the only thing that they can do to feel any kind of like joy and dopamine, you know, they get a little rush, a little high when they you know, successfully get into some battle with someone. That's like, don't feed them. Don't feed them what they want. Oh, dang, really? Kamikaze, dude, I could maybe use your help, actually. And I'll pay you. I need help. I need somebody like that. I need a researcher. I need someone who is like, I have a little bit of a stalker situation, and I need to find proof, basically, that I can just like hand over to the authorities so that they'll actually take it seriously. So yeah, that would be super great if you would do research for me. That would be amazing. Hey, Brooke. Dude, it is so crazy fucking windy outside right now. Like, I don't understand. Like, where'd all this come from? There was no warning. Don't they usually like tell you? I didn't see none of my neighbors complaining about it. Trying to find the weather app on my. Oh, there it is. All right. Let's look at the animated thing. 12 hours, not 1 hour. Oh, wow. That's weird. That's peculiar. There's like a wall. It literally looks like, you know, when you are watching a fuck, what is it called? Radar. When you're looking at radar, it literally looks like the waves of radar, like bands. And they're big. They go all the way down almost past Mexico and all the way up into Canada. And it looks like these two bands are headed in towards the coast, or in towards California and Washington and Oregon, and from pretty much Northern California to north of Canada, like way up there. The band is hitting hard right now. And it's literally the first band. And then the second band is coming. It's weird the way it looks. Yo, they need to stop fucking with our weather, dude. That doesn't look normal. It just don't look right. Dude, y'all should look at the fucking radar, the precipitation weather, and zoom out and look at from like Australia to the United States. And just look at what the weather. So have Australia, the easternmost part of Australia would be like here, and then Florida would be over here. And look at what the weather is doing right now. The precipitation specifically. I can't show you because it's showing my location, so I can't show you mine. It's weird. Yeah, there's like no rain in Florida. I can see that. Everything is going right away from Florida. Dude, it's weird. What are they doing? It looks like somewhere like maybe Argentina, there is like this weather going towards Australia, north of Australia. And then it's converging with this other stuff. And then they're coming back this way in the South Pacific Ocean. And then this weird amalgamous band is coming towards, dude, this shit is weird. Let me see if I can't get rid of my location. No, that just made it worse. Okay, so let me just show you weakness doing in Australia. Okay. That band comes all the way and hits this coast of California, or Northern California, and Oregon and Washington. But so this would be from this band of weather right here is coming from like the tip of Argentina. And look at what it's doing. It's coming just like straight that way and then converging with all of this other shit. It's coming down and then going back out that way. And then this band has gone twisty because of the dry weather from over there. But this is what's coming towards me. And that's the band that's hitting me now. But this is coming. What is the fuck? Like, what are they doing in Argentina, bro? Look at that. It's like coming from the tip of Argentina. Like, what are they doing? So bizarre. All right.
We would suffer much higher casualties. And so the president made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed. And then we would all be here answering questions about why we knew that and didn't. Going back.
Yeah, no, everybody would be mad that you didn't start World War III. Everyone would be very angry about that. So Netanyahu went on with what can only be described as the ultimate friendly.
Is there something at the tip of Australia that would be putting out a weather, like creating cloud precipitation, whatever? Because that's what it looks like.
Figure knew he wasn't going to get any hard questions from Hannity, but Hannity does give him a chance to respond to this. And as many have pointed out, Netanyahu has a pretty evil laugh.
I just thought I heard a baby kitten.
His true nature here when asked about whether they
Scared me.
dragged the U.S. into this war.
Time worth of study, in my view. And I want to ask you this, there are people that say, well, the prime minister of Israel dragged Donald Trump into it. And as somebody that's been friends with him over 30 years, nobody drags Donald Trump into anything, number one, but I want to get your reaction to that.
He's laughing.
That's ridiculous. Donald Trump is the strongest leader in the world. He does what he thinks is right for America. He does also what he thinks is right for.
Why is his lips purple? What the fuck? Look at this. Look at Bibi Netanyahu.
Trump into anything, number one, but I want to get your reaction to that.
Well, you're right. I mean, that's ridiculous. Donald Trump is the strongest leader in the world. He does what he thinks is right for America. He does also what he thinks is right for future generations. Frankly,
What's up with his mouth?
in that effort, because I've devoted my life.
He's been drinking red wine.
Life of a wonderful Jewish state. And believe me, it's been a struggle. I've known the pangs of war. I lost a brother in war.
He just remembered he's got purple lips.
Liberating hostages from a hijacked plane.
Why are his lips purple?
Soldier in my arms when I was 18, and he died in my arms. I know the cost of war, but I know sometimes in war.
That's what I did. I headed west. I lived in Florida. I'm from South Florida. And I just fucking got this like intuitive urge. And I looked at my husband and I was like, dude, imagine how many millions of people are between us and the safety of the mountains if shit hits the fan. We should buy an RV and we should get the fuck out of Florida. And so we did. 1 year to the day we left. And I haven't even been back to visit.
It's the only thing that allows me to get an erection thinking about death, destruction, horror. So you saw his comments about the United States and what he thinks of the United States, going all the way back to 1980. Do you think he believes that Donald Trump is a strong leader? Do you think he sees Donald Trump as a partner? You literally have him on camera more than once talking about how subservient the United States is to Israel. And hey, here's the big guy. Here's the big guy pulling out that chair, man. Look, he's like a waiter at IHOP when BB shows up there at the White House. According to reports, they bring their laundry. They bring their laundry when they come to the White House. So yeah, there's absolutely no way Netanyahu sees Trump as an equal partner that they're fighting Iran with. He's a servant, as you can see here. That's a servant. It's not a leader. It's a servant.
And speaking of servants, while we're paused for just a moment, I just have to say, Trump promoted this Hannity interview. You get Hannity the hack of all hacks to just tee up a softball. Now, yeah, some people are saying that you forced Donald Trump's hand. Is that true? Like only Hannity would go as low as to just tee that up for him, because as we're going to see in my segment later, even people like Megyn Kelly are not going for this. So you have to just scrape the bottom of the hack barrel. And
you're really down to that.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, exactly.
You are absolutely, and it's funny. The National Review, which because they are like Bill Kristol neocons, has tended to be critical of Trump. Now they like him.
Oh,
Now they like him. Now they're running cover for him.
Of course.
All right. So Netanyahu then goes on in this interview to you file this under every accusation
here.
fashion. Goes on to talk about the madness and obsession of Iran and its violence and its tendency to attack everybody. It's an incredible monologue if you know absolutely anything about Israel's history in general and particularly its recent history.
The reason that we had to act now is because they were, after we hit their nuclear sites and their ballistic missiles program, you'd think they learned a lesson, but they didn't, because they're unreformable. They're totally fanatic about this, about the goal of destroying America. So they started building new sites, new places.
It's what they live for. Yeah.
That would make their ballistic missile program and their atomic bomb programs immune within months. If no action was taken now, no action could be taken in the future. And then they could target America, they could blackmail America, they could threaten us and threaten everyone in between. So action had to be taken, and you needed a resolute president like Donald J. Trump.
You needed a president who's been on the receiving end of Miriam's 15 inches.
You needed a president.
For me, I always do what I'm told. I'm a good boy, you know. Sometimes he needs a little talking to from Miriam's 15 inches.
You needed a president that was in the Epstein files to make this happen.
We needed that, and we needed a Congress that's mostly in the Epstein files. And we needed an entire oligarch class that's in the Epstein files. Okay, so hey, Iran is a crazy cuckoo bird threat to its neighbors. This isn't going back to 1952 now, right? How many countries has Israel attacked in 2025? From Al Jazeera, Israel has attacked more countries than any other country this year. Well, that's no surprise. In 2025, Israel attacked at least 6 countries, including Palestine, Iran, Lebanon, Qatar, Syria, and Yemen. It also carried out strikes in Tunisian, Maltese, and Greek territorial waters on aid flotillas heading for Gaza. According to Armed Conflict Location and Event data, an independent conflict monitor, from January 1st to December 5th, Israel carried out at least 10,631 attacks, marking one of the broadest geographic military offenses in a state.
I'm going to sew something.
Netanyahu would have you believe that Iran is the threat to its neighbors, which is just absolutely absurd. You almost literally cannot look at the news without reading about Israel bombing one of its neighbors. It's pretty much a daily event that they're bombing somebody in that region. Just to put the cherry on the whipped cream, Netanyahu wants you to know that the difference between Israel and Iran is that Iran targets civilians and Israel doesn't. This is Saul Staniforth, a reminder that Netanyahu is wanted for war crimes that include directing attacks against civilians and extermination or murder as a crime against humanity. Let's hear it.
Was bombarded the terrorists
My husband are separated.
against civilians. You see the difference. Parents of Tehran.
I'm gonna skedaddle. I am kind of like sleepy a little, and so I think I'm gonna take a nap, and then I'm going to I'm gonna go to the cabin And so I'll pop on here while I'm at the cabin. I have to clean up some stuff, like, you know, basic dusting and what have you. I'm going to start to do that, I think, today a little. If I can catch up on that, then I won't have to stress out so hard on the 11th or no, the 9th when I have to go over there and do the big clean. So yeah, I think I'm going to go over there and do some dusting and fold the load of towels that's in the dryer, get all of the dishes out of the dishwasher and dried, like make sure everything is good over there. It's a lot of jars that she has saved that were washed. That's mostly what's in the dishwasher, is just jars that were just needing cleaning because they've been in the cabinet for a really long time. Yeah. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I won't really have a day off today. But if I take a nap, it'll be the same as if I had the day off. So I'm gonna do that. No, it's not a berserker sigil. Yeah, I do need to do a forced sale with the property, but most importantly, actually what I really, really need help with is exposing the stalker situation. And just I just want to expose them on social media and everything for who they truly are. I just don't know how to do any of that. I could make the video and do all that, but I don't have the ability to go through all of the illegal stuff. I don't have it in me. So yeah. I'm gonna go. And I don't really like the Grateful Dead, to be quite honest. I support my friends who have businesses. My friend had a business where she sold Grateful Dead, all kinds of everything, and this was exactly the type of robe that I wanted in general. And so I bought it because, you know, she had the business and I wanted to support her business because she was my friend and I loved her. But anyways, I'll be back here this afternoon, maybe. I have some footage that I took, I think from the other day when I was at work, that I need to post on TikTok. So I'll probably post a video on TikTok and maybe a short here as well. I'm not sure. There's a Patreon, Subliminal Locks, patreon.com Subliminal Locks. So don't forget to check that out. There's not really much going on there because we need more people to like bring things up and ask questions and stuff. So there's a free tier. So join and like bring things up and talk about them so that I'll know what to think about for the next stream or whatever. I don't know. Okay, love you guys. See you later. Bye.